Hello everyone, I'm an executive member with SereneMind, and today we are going to be teaching you all how to learn HTML really quick. Now, HTML is super useful because for every website, right as soon as you go online to Google, to Apple, whether you're shopping, all of the behind the scenes of the website is broken up into HTML and CSS, which is essentially just design. HTML is super useful when you want to make your own web pages, so let's get started. Now, the most important thing about HTML is there's basic little syntaxes called a tag. A tag is sort of like a container for all your HTML elements in the code. Now, I will explain this sandwich in a moment, but basically a tag is right here. You can see that this thing I have right here with these characters is called an opening tag. And then over here, it's the same thing, but I have a slash mark, which is a closing tag. The P stands for paragraph tag, and as you know it, paragraph, we write words, right? So we're going to write any sort of thing we want our website to showcase to our users. In this case, we just wanted to keep it simple and say hello world. Hello world is our content, or whatever words we want, and this whole entire thing is called an element, which sort of goes with the sandwich. So our top button is going to be our opening tag, our bottom button is our closing tag. The lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, onions, whatever you want on your sandwich is going to be the content, or like whatever words you want. And this whole thing, as we usually call it in the normal world, we say a sandwich. But in HTML world, we call it an element. So let's try making our own element. Right here, I had a quick example. We have this called H1, and H1 is basically our heading. Like right this here, section heading. And so this is my opening tag right here I've highlighted. We have closing tag. My website is going to be our words, or content. And this whole thing is called a sandwich, or in like actual coding words, an element. So let's do a paragraph tag example. So we're going to have P, and then as soon as we have that, the nice thing about this application is it adds that ending really quick. Now let's say, what do we want the website to say? I'm feeling in a food sort of mood, so let's say, I love to bake muffins and bread. So let's see if it gets to our console, and yes, it does. See, this is how we add in words to our website. So in HTML, of course, we also have headers. Now, headers are exactly what you think it is. When you're writing an essay, let's say essay about the Civil War. Usually, an essay about the Civil War will be called the Civil War essay, which is our header. And everything you want to talk about the Civil War, it's going to be made up in these paragraph tags, P. So then we're going to add all our words. Now, to make a header for our website, we're going to be using H1, which is the same kind of format. The great thing about HTML is the format doesn't change. So still we're sticking with the opening tag, whatever we want to add in between these characters right here, and then we have a closing tag. Now this is super key information. The higher the numbers, the smaller the text, and the numbers only go up to 6. So let me tell you what I'm talking about when I mean the numbers. So right one, we have H1 heading, right? And it's pretty big and bolded. But what if I don't want it that big? Let's see how H3 looks in comparison. So let's do the exact same words. My website. And you can tell that this is significantly much more smaller than this. Now, like I said, it only goes up to 6. So let's see how H6 looks compared to H1 and H3. And you guessed it, it's going to be super small and super bold. Okay, so like we were saying before, right, so we have our essay. So our essay, we have our header, Civil War essay, and in our essay we have to have, of course, our body paragraph. So in HTML, we use something called the body element, which was actually automatically added onto this. So we already have body right here, and in our body element, we can write whatever words we want to say, anything we want to say about our website, like other stuff, like maybe we can add our favorite sports, our favorite hangout places. To write a paragraph, of course, like we said, we have our body element right here, And then we have our paragraph element using just P. And then, of course, our words. So let's say we want to say, of course, inside our body element, we have what I like to bake. But what other activities? So I can say maybe I love to play soccer, swim, dance, football, and hang out with my friends. And we can basically add anything we want, so to bake, play soccer, anything we want in our website right here, which is made up of our P tags. Awesome. So you're probably wondering, why was my P element right here, why was it inside the body element? Well, that's because the body element is a special vocab nestled inside the body element. So what that means is the P element is essentially the child to the parent element, meaning body. So that word nestled is sort of kind of how it means. So body is my parent element, okay? And inside my body, I'm going to have, let's say, a P element. I'm going to have, okay, as you can see here, my heading elements. I can even add, which we'll do later, images inside my body element, which is sort of acting as my parent element. Now, sometimes we're going to have so much code. So we need to find a way to organize it, right? By using different elements to help us separate the pages into sections. So right now, obviously, it's not too hard to read because we have like a couple things on here. So as you start to code more and more and more, it's going to be so much more confusing because muffins might go into soccer. So we need to find a way. So the great thing about HTML is we can use something called the div tag. Div tag is pretty awesome and it stands for division, which it divides the pages into sections. So right now we can have, let's X out, we can have a div tag. And of course, it goes opening with closing tag. And you can see that my paragraph tag is now also nestled inside my division tag. And we can use these tags right here. Just like so. And right now, it might be a bit hard to see because obviously we don't have so much, but I promise you, these tags make a huge difference because you can't really see it on here, but when you're coding it, it makes it so much easier. Like, okay, so here is my first division, okay, here's my second division, and it makes it so much more clear to see the code. Awesome, so we have words and sentences, but that can get kind of boring. We want to make our website as engaging as possible. So another amazing things, like whatever you see, of course, when you're on different websites, you always see images and videos. So to add an image, we're going to be using our image tag. Now, do you notice anything different about the image tag? If you guess that there's no closing tag, you're correct. So like I said before, typically in our HTML tags, we're always going to have a closing tags, but there are some special cases. So in this case right here, we have just our opening tag, but there is no closing tag because we don't need it. So right here we have SRC, which basically stands for source, or whatever link you want to show on your website, and of course width and height. So let's experiment with this. Let's do image and then add that. Let's do SRC, source. What should we do a picture of? Well, I was in kind of the mood for muffins, so the great thing about this is you can just add that picture of muffins. Delicious chocolate chip muffins. Right here you can click on copy image address and we can go back, add it right here. Awesome. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so we got our image, but it's a little too big for our website. And what we can do is, of course, we have to adjust our height. Let's do maybe 400. And what the 400 means, it's just the amount of pixels. So computer reads this and they're like, okay, you want 400 pixels for height and width? Got it. Awesome, that's a much better size. We can also add videos. So to add videos from YouTube, we have to use the iframe tag. And iframe has a closing tag as well, right here. So to make videos from YouTube, you can type in iframe. And the great thing about if you want to add to a YouTube video is, let's say I was craving sort of pizza. So what you can do is when you click on share and embed, it has already the link gone for you right here. So you can just, whenever you're making a website, you can copy this whole entire thing. And if let's see if I copy it, it can just add the video onto my website for me. So awesome. And we can play it directly from our website.
Every city in the country, every city in the world probably.
And this can help make our website look super more engaging. Awesome. So last but not least, right now we have a website for baking. So let's say I want to have a list. In HTML, we also have lists. So just like we're in the grocery store and like, okay, I need to pick up the milk, the eggs, the sugar, we have it. So over here, when we use UL, it's basically called an unordered list. And the LI just stands for whatever list item. And we can also do ordered lists, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, OL, ordered list, and LI, list item. So let's do an example of both. Okay, so let's say I'm at the grocery store, and I want to make an unordered list, which will just be bullet points. So let's say I have to pick up some milk. What else should we pick up from the grocery store? Sugar. We can also pick up, let's say, eggs, and then sort of see if that works. Okay, so it's a bit hard to tell here, but you can see that it shows the milk, sugar, and eggs. And if, let's say, we are following a recipe, and in our recipe, let's say the first item is mix together the eggs. And then the second on our list is mash together the milk and sugar, which I'm pretty sure some recipes don't have, but you can see that we have labeled 1 and 2. And that's basically the basics. In HTML, you can also have different elements. So if we want to sort of add more videos, we can use the video tag, the source tag, these audio elements, and there's so many different elements you can use to make your website more engaging, but these are the basics of HTML.